Israel Makov is chairman at Sun Pharma. He joins us right now to take some questions on that big pharma deal, Sun Pharma buying 100% of Ranbaxy in an all-stock transaction. So thanks very much for your time. Great to have you with us here. The market is liking what it sees. Sun Pharma stock is up 5%. I just want to start by asking you what were the circumstances, what was the background before actually you signed onto the deal? Who approached who? How long did negotiations take? That kind of thing. Let's start with that, sir.
Well, I will start with that. So we were the one who actually initiate, we identified Ranbaxy as a very interesting asset, which fits very good with Sun, has a lot of value which we can unlock. And we approached Daiichi, and the process was the actual process of negotiations, due diligence, etc., was quite a short one.
So the negotiation bit didn't take very long. That's essentially what you're saying. But I can assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you obviously had a background of this company. You've been watching what was happening to this. So in a way, you had this asset at the back of the mind that potentially in the future we could look to make an offer.
Yes.
How did you think about Ranbaxy before you made the offer as an acquisition target? Did you think about Ranbaxy as an asset in distress, as a company which had lots of troubles going with the US FDA? Or you said, well, here's a company, we might be able to get our hands on it cheap, and we'd be able to turn this around because FDA problems are temporary. What's your how did you think about it?
We see it as a company which is basically a very good company. Remember that Ranbaxy used to be one of the leaders of this industry, and it has a lot of good values and good people in the company. They run into troubles, and we saw the opportunity of first of all of getting reaching new geographies, getting new product lines. It's really complementary. The transaction is really complementary. So it fits our strategy and fits our economic ambitions. And this is you always look for what is the best target for the next acquisition. And this was for us the best possible transaction.
Mr. Makov, would you compare this with Teva acquiring Ivax? In terms of transaction, because I know you've described that as one of the best value creators in terms of a transaction. Would you compare this to that, or would you say, well, this is different?
I told somebody else, that Ivax Teva transaction in terms of value creation was probably the best transaction in the industry ever, and I think that Ranbaxy Sun will top it.
But Ivax didn't have troubles which Ranbaxy has now, right? That was a clean acquisition in that particular Suns. My question is, what will Sun Pharma do different? Or what do you intend to do to resolve the FDA issues? Apart, of course, from having the confidence, and well, that's appreciated. But what will be the different things that you will do which Daiichi could not do for the last 5 years that it owned the asset?
First, I have to tell you that in every acquisitions you have challenges. There is no acquisition without challenges. So this is number one. What we are going to do, I think that Sun is a leader in terms, is an industry leader in terms of regulation, complying with regulation in terms of safety, in terms of environmental standards, etc., etc. And we are doing very, very well. Every company in the industry, from one time or another, is running into some compliance trouble. Even the best companies in the industry. And we have learned to overcome such bumps, I would call it, And we did it very well in the past. And we're going to analyze all the issues that Ranbaxy has and extend to them extend to them our management system, our compliance system, guide them, empower them, make them accountable to what they are doing, and we are sure that we will get over these problems as soon as possible. And we're going also to talk with the FDA about it.
Right, but again, what will be different, sir? I sort of am continuing with that and harping with that, but what will be different with Sun? You think that FDA will perceive Sun with, I mean, you're a big player in the US market, and you coming on as the new owner of Ranbaxy, I mean, that will make a difference. I'm sure you're hoping that will. So compared to Daiichi, what is going to be different to resolve some of these issues? Because troubles have only mounted over the last 5 years for Daiichi.
We are confident that we will be able to get over these problems. These problems are temporary, you know. None of these problems stay for long, you know. And we are going to get over it. We are very confident that we can do it. And I think that we have done it in the past. And I believe that we know how to do it. You know, this is how we feel. Otherwise, we would not have taken the challenge.
Right. I understand that. I'm sure you would have read the article. I think it was in Forbes. I don't recall which publication. I think it was Forbes. It was a very damaging article about Ranbaxy. There was a long format piece which detailed the alleged systematic malpractices at Ranbaxy, misrepresentation of data and that kind of thing. I mean, were you worried about that, or, well, you didn't really believe that and you said, well, these are temporary issues which can be resolved, technical issues?
I guess I don't think that we need Forbes in order to tell us what is wrong in Ranbaxy.
So I can safely say that your primary focus will be, I mean, after acquiring Ranbaxy, will be to resolve the FDA issues, right? Fully being compliant with the FDA.
This is the initial focus.
Okay. So no one argues that Ranbaxy has got a valuable pipeline of drugs, first to files and that kind of thing. How is this deal going to help facilitate and monetize that pipeline of drugs? Sir, I mean, because, you know, timelines are stringent. Ranbaxy can't export to the US right now. So there is a risk of that FTF opportunity kind of withering away, slipping away. Are you planning on on-site transfers for some of these products? I mean, what's going to be the strategy?
Look, we are looking into the matter and we are developing plans how to do it. We'll do it together with the company, together with Ranbaxy. And just to tell you what is the value of Ranbaxy, they were able to develop many important and good products and first to files.
So what's your sense on emerging markets? Because that's been sort of written up quite a bit. When one reads about this particular transaction, Ranbaxy is pretty big, Sun is present but in a smaller way, and how both entities together can really drive value. Ranbaxy's recent run in emerging markets hasn't been all that spectacular. Can you just talk about that for a bit?
First of all, we are going to manage operations. In some markets, we are small and they are larger, they have a bigger infrastructure, so we merge into them. And other markets, we will do the other way around. We haven't yet made a detailed plan, but this is what is going to be. For us, emerging markets is important. You know, it's one of the faster growing areas in the pharma. And the acquisition of Ranbaxy gave us really a much better footprint in this area. And we are going to take advantage of that and start grow from there.
Sun is 40% margins. Ranbaxy, I'm sure you've got this before. Ranbaxy has got 10% odd margins. What's going to be the meeting point, sir? And how do you how do you protect the merged entities' margins?
Look, everybody's asking me, they have 10%, we have over 40% margins, We look at the 10% as an opportunity. Just imagine we just double or triple it, what will happen? Yeah, no, they have now 10%. The opportunity for us is to double, triple it, and make it much more. This is the opportunity.
Mr. Makov, thanks very much for your time, sir. Great to have you with us here.